Hello, everyone. Today, my presentation is called the Tao of Positivity, Directing the Mind. And I feel like I have quite a bit of experience with something the opposite of this, which would be the Tao of Negativity. I spent a large part of my adult life waiting for the other hammer to drop or expecting the worst. And that really sort of became like a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you expect negative things, you're almost sure to get them. It's funny how that works. But once I got calm and started studying the Tao and discovered the temple and was exposed to the things that Bill and Derek and Ed teach every week, it really helped me to change things, to turn things around. Not to say that I never have negative thoughts or emotions. Of course, we all do. It's part of being human. But I hope I can share today some techniques that I've learned that have been helpful, and I hope they're helpful to anyone who might experience negativity from within from time to time. So I'm going to start off with my first slide here, battling the mind. Negative thoughts are something we all experience from time to time. They come up. It's just sort of part of life. Recognizing that thoughts and emotions are closely linked is helpful. I mean, often, your thoughts give rise to your emotions, and your emotions, of course, can trigger your thoughts as well. It sort of works both ways. It's a two-way street, so to speak. It's important to be aware of thoughts as they arise, particularly when they're negative. You want to. It's not like you can get rid of your thoughts. It's even hard to say where your thoughts come from. They just sort of come up. But it's important to be aware of them. And recognize them for what they are. And when you encounter negative thoughts, as we all do, naming the negative thoughts for what they are as they enter the mind can often cause them to recede. Sometimes it's just exposing them to your awareness tends to make them go away, sometimes. Being aware of negative thoughts is the first step in combating them or avoiding them. Meditation can be an effective method for training to be aware of thoughts. Setting aside time every day if you can to have that time with yourself, that quiet time. It doesn't have to be completely contemplative. I mean, there are active meditations. Both Derek and Bill have talked about Qigong, and Derek has actually demonstrated many Qigong moves that's a form of a moving meditation. And of course, Bill will tell you that the Yiguan Dao rituals that he participates in as a shrine owner, that's a moving meditation too, the actual rituals themselves. But some misconceptions sometimes come up about meditation, and so I just want to say it should not be sought as a way to remove thoughts. As one, I don't think that's possible, but two, even if it was, it would be kind of undesirable just to remove, just to empty your mind and have nothing. I think that's neither possible or desirable. So I have a quote here from Eckhart Tolle that I think hits the point pretty well. The primary cause of unhappiness is never the situation, but your thoughts about it. It's so true. We tend to, when bad things are going on, we tend to blow them out of proportion. And it's easy to, when you do that, to just sort of have it carry over from one situation into all the other facets of your life, and before you know it, you're just mired in negativity. But this works the other way too. Thinking positively, telling yourself to stop negative thinking, and then replacing it with something else can be helpful too. So I want to talk a little bit about thought replacement. So as I said previously, the first step is to identify the negative thought, realize that you're having it, realizes that it's entering your mind, and to try to maintain as much detachment, to try to sort of train yourself to be the observer of your thoughts. It can be very helpful. Next, you have to tell yourself to stop the negative thought pattern. And I found for myself, sometimes just saying the word stop in my head can help. It can help me realize, okay, wait, I don't want this. This kind of thinking isn't helpful. It's not worrying about future events or fretting over the past or whatever the negative thought pattern is. It's just not worth it. And so telling yourself to stop can sometimes be helpful. And then, of course, you want to replace the thought with something more optimistic or more positive. And the key to doing this really is to cultivate a feeling of gratitude. We all have things that are good in our lives, no matter how tough the situation is from time to time. And I've shared things in the past. I've had difficult situations to deal with in life, as we all do. But there's also a lot of joy and wonderment in our lives. And one thing that I find really helpful is to think of the people in your life that love you and be grateful for them. Be happy that they're in your life. And then to think of, what a pleasure that is. Focus on what you have in your life instead of fixating on what you don't have. Because really the Tao has abundance to offer. And when you focus on what's right in your life, it'll naturally sort of make you happier. So it does take practice, but it is so much better than being controlled by negativity. It doesn't happen overnight. If you've developed a negative thought pattern, and negativity is something that permeates your life, as it did for me for many, many years, it helps to practice. And one other thing that's helpful, I didn't put this in and I probably should have, it often helps to surround yourself with people that are positive if you can. I think of it in the times of my life when I was a very negative person. I was very fortunate, even though I didn't think of it as being fortunate, of having wonderful friends who, despite what was going on in their lives, could maintain positivity. And positivity, of course, is contagious. And I'm so thankful for those friends. Many of them are in my life today as well, still. And they're still chugging along as positively as they always have. But I find that thanks to the Tao and thanks to practicing the teachings, I don't drag them down so much. I get to enjoy the happiness with them more. And that's a wonderful thing. So I want to throw in a quote from Shakespeare here that I think is very fitting. Nothing is good or bad, but thinking makes it so. And it is true. The thoughts, our mind, what our mind does, can play a big role in our outlook on life and how we approach it, and whether it ends up being good or bad. Okay, so I want to start to sum it up here a bit. So negative thoughts and emotions are going to come up in life sometimes. It's just part of life. If you allow negative thoughts to take hold in your mind, they will serve to make you unhappy. I think that's pretty obvious. Developing awareness about your thoughts and emotions as they arise is critical. It's really the first step towards replacing it with something better. Identifying the negative thought and naming it for what it is can help the thought evaporate. It's very true. It seems like negative intentions or negative thoughts really sort of like to run in the background and just sort of exert their influence without being noticed. But when you notice them, often they tend to recede, which is definitely a good thing. And then it is good to have a daily meditative practice to help you become more aware of thoughts and emotions. Certainly setting aside time to do that, whatever method works for you. And you can try several different ones and give them a nice good try. And you'll naturally find the meditative methods that work for you, because we're all different. We all have different things that work for us. Don't think of meditation as a way to stop thought, as that is both impossible and undesirable. After becoming aware of a negative thought pattern, it's good to tell yourself to stop that thought pattern. Just literally saying to yourself in your head, once you've been aware that it's happening, to just stop. Just don't do it. And replace the negative thought with a better thought. Focus on having gratitude for what you have and the people you love. Cultivating positive thoughts will lead to positive actions and a happier life filled with revitalized energy. I know that's certainly true for me. Having spent at least the better part of the last 6 years with a much more positive and happy outlook, the reality of my life reflects that. I have so much to be joyful and happy about these days. And a lot of that starts in the mind. It starts with focusing on what's important. And so I hope everyone will sort of heed that and make an effort to engage in positive thinking. It really is helpful, and it will change your life. So I want to end with a quote, and I guess I accidentally forgot to change the title there. So obviously that's not Shakespeare on the left, that's the Dalai Lama. And in order to carry a positive action, we must develop here a positive vision. I think that is so true. Okay, so there it was, the Tao of Positivity, directing the mind. Thank you all so much for listening to me today. I hope I said something that was of use, and I hope you all have a wonderful Sunday.
Alex, thank you so much. Alex, is it okay if we leave your summary slide up on the screen through the break, the mid-meeting break?
Oh, sure, no problem at all.
I just find this to be so incredibly helpful. And also, I wanted to mention that those of you who are interested in the quote from Shakespeare, you'll find that in Hamlet. Definitely one of my favorite quotes of all time. And also to chime in on what Alex has said, Alex's quote from Eckhart Tolle. Eckhart Tolle is a very well-known author in the spirituality genre. Let me talk a little bit about how Eckhart Tolle became awakened. He started out not doing very well in life at all. He was frequently depressed. And so it got to be really bad for him on a daily basis. One day, he found himself thinking, in the depths of depression, in the darkest depression, he found himself thinking, I just cannot stand myself, living with myself any longer. Like absolutely no way, no how. I just cannot stand myself any longer. That moment that he had his epiphany, he suddenly, wait a minute, what did I just say? I can't stand myself. Who is the I that cannot stand? And who is the myself that I cannot stand? I am one person. I'm just me, myself, and I. I'm one individual, one thought, one mind, and yet just now, when I say I cannot stand myself, I'm thinking of myself as two different entities. There's the me there's the me that can't stand me. So in that moment, he began to question his thoughts. He began to perhaps your mind, even your mind, which we normally assume to be who you are, even that may not be who you are. In the Tao, here's what I will say. Who are you? The question is, who are you? Who is this you thing? Who is this you that you feel all the time, every minute, every day? Well, I would offer that the true you is changes no matter what else about you changes. So, you, the true you, cannot be your physical body. Why not? Because no matter how your body it grows up, grows old, no matter how it changes, you're still you. You haven't changed. And it's not your identity. You associate yourself with a name. Hey, but listen, it's not that hard nowadays to change your name. So your name can change, but you're still you. So are you your mind? That's the question that Eckhart Tolle stumbled upon. So the answer is, you're also not your mind, because the mind changes all the time. You can forget things, you can learn things, you can have amnesia, don't remember who you are, but that doesn't change the fact that you are still you. So there's a you that remains constant, like the Tao, no matter what. What is this you? Is it the soul? Is it the spirit? I don't have a set answer for you, but I would ask you to think about it for yourself. Who am I? Am I my possessions? Well, obviously not, because I will acquire possessions. I will throw away possessions. So possessions change all the time. They're not me. They're not the clothes that I wear. I change my clothes all the time. No matter how much I change my clothes, I'm still me. Not my name, not my bank balance, not my social security number, not any of those things that people use to identify me. So who am I really? Not my body, not my memories. Why? Because my memories would also change. in the course of time, memories will fade, but I'm still me. So Eckhart Tolle would go on to explore spirituality, and he became a very famous author. And I would like to ask that all of us can do what Alex has said, and that is to do what Eckhart Tolle did, become an observer of your own thoughts. What did I just do? What am I thinking of? What am I doing now? How is this affecting me? Mentally take a step back as if you are watching yourself on the big screen in the movie of your life. And you will find talked about in regards to negative thoughts to be extremely useful.